Inside our readers' electrified lives, Our Electrifying World is a series about how electrification is creating a more sustainable energy transition. It is sponsored by Rewiring America. For the past year, this series has documented stories of Americans going electric, their carbon footprint shrinking with each new plug-in vehicle or appliance. Now, as we bring the series to a close, we turn to you, our climate-conscious readers, for your own stories about going electric. Dozens of you responded, sending us anecdotes and photos, extolling your electric cars and lawnmowers, lauding your e-bikes, praising your heat pumps, and raving about your induction stoves. Here are your submissions by the numbers. 78 of you wrote in to tell us your stories of going electric. 30 of those stories included an electric vehicle, 34 included a heat pump, 22 included an e-bike, 20 included an induction stove. Watching these stories roll in was like a steady dopamine drip of evidence-based anecdotes showing our world becoming cleaner, greener, and more efficient. So we wanted to share them with everyone. Scroll down to see the many ways that going electric has improved your lives and made the planet a better place to live. When we were about to have our second kid, I was looking at new cars that would have room for our bigger family. Every gas-powered SUV still had poor gas mileage and huge tanks. Not knowing if I would be able to afford it when it arrived, I put a deposit on a Rivian R1s in 2018, the night my son was born. I was not only thinking about the immediate future, but what kind of world I wanted to leave him. After all, it was his now. Kendall Ruth, what better impetus for going electric? The dangerous gas leak right into our front bedroom. We immediately shut off the gas for good GP, no more gas bills. And changed our instantaneous water heater to a heat pump, our gas cooktop to induction, and our 2 gas space heaters to reverse cycle air conditioners. Then we installed 10 kW rooftop solar panels and 2 batteries. The result, free power even when the grid is down, a fantastically convenient cooktop, summer cooling as well as winter heating, and hot water that costs practically nothing. Marion Gray, our conversion was driven by both the economy and the environment. We put solar panels on our roof and then bought 2 electric cars. Now we have no gasoline bill and our utility bill is usually around $25. Not bad for California. Bob Adams, I bought an electric city bike on a cycle to work scheme. In recovering from cancer treatment, and having the electric bike has helped my mental health. Today, I cycled in 30-mile-an-hour winds to work. Why? Because I can. Exhilarating. Jackie, our house is 100% electric, including heated floors via a heat pump. We charge our electric car and e-bikes on the same grid. We produce enough electricity to cover our needs year-round, with some extra to feed back into the grid for others. An added bonus, the system more than paid for itself within 7 years. Eileen and Jack, we purchased a Chevy all-electric Bolt in 2018, and what a joy to never go to a gas station again. It has great pickup, is easy to park, and has the added benefit of not being a Tesla. Annette Campbell, we got a heat pump 3 years ago as COVID was waning. It was expensive. However, we live in British Columbia where fires have been an issue for the last 20 years. The best use of our heat pump is to clean and cool the air when we are trapped inside during dangerous smoke levels. It's quiet, efficient, and since we installed it up high on our dining room walls, acceptable aesthetically. Helen Davis, having used an electric burner stove for years before I got a gas stove, I never thought I'd go back to electrics. Then I moved and there wasn't a gas stove, so I purchased a single burner induction cooktop to see if I would like it. Overall, I find the induction vastly superior to everything else I've used, including gas. It's faster to heat than gas. The temperature changes immediately when you turn it down or up, just like gas, and overall it turned out to be cheaper to operate than my old halogen glass top. Dave, I live in Zurich and got a new e-bike 2 months ago. It's the sure fastest means of transport to move around the city. You can park it everywhere and you don't need to sweat the climbs uphill. It costs way less than a car and requires lower maintenance. The main drawback is bad weather, but other than that it's flawless. I estimated how much time I'm saving now with my e-bike, and it amounts to almost an hour per week or around 2 days per year. Mariana James, we had a flooring mishap where a guy doing work slipped and his foot went through the glass door of our dual fuel stove, and the company no longer made the part. My time had come. We made the leap to an induction stovetop. Big adjustment, but aside from replacing a few aluminum pans with ferrous metal, it has been great. Though occasionally miss the open flame, definitely do not miss the gas. Electric in Philly. Jane Cower, we built our house in 2011 to be as close to net zero as possible, including a ground source heat pump, solar water heater, and solar panels. We replaced our propane stove with an induction range and bought an electric car in 2018 to end our connection to fossil fuels. We are not quite net zero anymore, but we are committed to making as small an impact on the planet as possible. Sandy, I needed a new lawnmower and decided to go electric rather than gas-powered. I was initially concerned about battery life and